Good evening, lads, lasses, non-binary folk. How are we all feeling tonight? Are we feeling chipper? Feeling spry? Feeling ready to fight the night? Perhaps even vanishing into nowhere. How are we all feeling tonight, everyone? Sorry for the slight delay, as always. I got distracted taking a nice photo. I'm really gonna stop doing this. I don't know why I'm so joyful today. I'm feeling spooky. Even though it's not quite Halloween. You and your Vtubers and your tricks. Oh, well. Can't be having you have any treats around here, mate. If you had any treats, well, you'd have to pay the tax. Hand them over. No treats for you. But yes, good evening, Tiberian. How are you? You join me on a rather nice night, because I spent so long thinking about what spooky drink I should make. Oh, I've not got enough spooky-sounding drinks I can make. The penicillin, that sounds positively healthy. The white lady, well, I suppose that is sort of creepy-sounding.
La PlayStation
2 isn't a drink. It's a way to poison yourself with a lot of microplastics. Then I remembered. The ever-faithful. The ever-good. And before you type what drink you're having tonight, I haven't finished the actual message, so don't do it. Corpse Reviver number 2. What better cocktail name for a Halloween night? God damn it, I haven't finished it. Damn it, that's the Japanese cocktail, you son of a bitch. The spookiest thing, me not being organized. I'm deleting that message. You don't get to keep that message. Has trick-or-treating spread to Australia like it has other countries? Well, I've seen it occasionally over my life. The amount of times I saw kids trick-or-treating outside, like in like a normal context, outside of, like an event. If that was ever an event. Outside of events, not really. I could probably count on 2 hands. Maybe 2 hands and 2 feet. The amount of times I've had a year in my life where kids have come round to wherever I was living. I occasionally would organize something. Like, I organized something, I'd have something organized just in case. A zombie was always a good choice. I don't know if I have anything. Or a brain aneurysm. That's always fun. But no, I really don't see it that much in Australia. We have Halloween festivals, and of course, an Australian would never miss a chance to be pissed. The good kind of pissed. Because they always... I know so many people who do Halloween parties, but... can't be say. Speaking of horror, I can hear an ambulance. But yes, I haven't really seen it. I don't know if they do it in Japan either. Though I do know, funnily enough, there's a Halloween event happening. Not tomorrow, but the next day. I know that's the first. Haha, my favorite drink. A stroke. Brain aneurysm. It's a real drink. You should look it up. It looks awful. Is Halloween not there yet? Not yet. Well, I've seen the events around. Seeing the events around, but there's a Halloween event happening on the 1st of November, which is rather funny, but it's more like it seems to be a cosplay event than anything else. Alright, now I can ping the thing. But yes, it's not quite Halloween here, it's the 30th here. Halloween will be in approximately 4 hours. But yes, today you join me drinking the Corpse Survivor number 2. Corpse Survivor number 2. The sequel to the Corpse Reviver number 1, and one of a family of drinks who are said to be so potent that they'd be even able to raise the dead. Take that, Jesus. Take that, saints. I've got a real miracle in a bottle. The joke is that this was some sort of terrible hangover cure. Came after November 1st, Silent Hill life won't be no more. It may not be, but I did a pretty good job getting through 2 bloody playthroughs of the damn thing. I want some praise for that, thank you very much. Nobody even toned up to last night's stream. I think it may or may not have been because I put a sword on the thumbnail of the YouTube video. That seems to have done something, because I've never had a stream that's had literally 0 views. What ought to it? Not to complain. It's okay if you guys were busy. I'm not complaining. I just thought it was very funny that for the first time ever, I think I've had a stream that had literally no views. It has 1... No, because I had to go to work, mate. I know, I'm not going after you, but... Usually it at least tries to share it to somebody, and I get like 1 or 2 random views. But this time, 0. Rather amusing, really. But it was nice. We managed to finish the 2nd playthrough of that game. The 2nd playthrough was not bad, actually. I kind of liked how they did it. It turned out a lot more hopeful and healthy mentally than I thought it would be. Who would have thought not taking mind-altering substances for 5 years and then getting married against your will would actually, I don't know, be pretty good for your continued mental health and allow you to make decisions. Unfortunately, I do not have another spare 7 hours to finish a 3rd playthrough. Unless they somehow shorten the 3rd playthrough even more. I doubt it though, so probably not gonna happen. It's nice though. Once the combat wasn't a problem, I actually enjoyed myself, which is funny. I kind of enjoyed myself now the combat was a problem. It still wasn't scary, but... What horror game is to a man like me? Maybe I should make myself look spookier. If I said anything, screaming slurs, curse the P2, throwing anything at the window, nobody would know because no one saw. Yeah, you. Can't tell. You gonna watch through the 2-3 hour stream? Are you gonna watch it? Didn't think so. But I do kind of want to see the other endings, so we might, maybe... do that, perhaps, later today on the stream. If we run out of things to talk about, you know. I kind of want to watch a video of, like, the other endings, you know? Or at least the things that change. Maybe read some lore. Also, I do want to look at some yokai stuff. Maybe somebody's done, like, a yokai analysis of the yokai that turn up in the Silent Hill F game. And, you know, somebody could give me a cool history lesson on yokai. Speaking of, though, I kind of like the picture I took tonight. It looks pretty good. Praise me. Give me compliments. For something I spent not that long on, but enough that I went, yeah, it looks pretty good. I think I made a nice looking cocktail tonight. It's hard with these cocktails. All these goddamn gin, lemon cocktails, or... It's clear spirit plus lemon plus something else. They all look the same. This one looks the same as the 20th century, which looks the same as the whiskey sour, which looks the same as the nutty nutty, and this looks the same as the daddy daddy, and they all look very similar, a lot of these lemon-based spirit drink cocktails. It's really hard to make them look beautiful. I decided to go with a weird little... Any interesting stuff. Unfortunately, I have to leave. Have a good one. Remember, spook is not a month. Spook is not a month. It's a lifestyle. And happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. One of my colleagues absolutely loves Halloween. But he is American, so... I guess that's just what Americans do. Do Americans really love Halloween? I know there was a big push. Could be 15, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago now. In Australia to have more of that sort of American-style Halloween. But it never really... I feel like it never really took off. I don't know, maybe the chances of running into a goddamn kangaroo in a dark alley was too dangerous. Yes, some more than Christmas. It was always a fun time in Australia, but I don't think it was ever really like, whoa, whoa, oh. You know? It wasn't really crazy. It was just fun. I've been to my fair share of Halloween festivals. Mind you, that was just... Oh, my goodness. It isn't celebrated here, but in recent years it's been getting more relevant. Yes. I think America, well, Australia and Japan were similar in the way they celebrate Halloween. Is that it's sort of like an excuse to party, an excuse to dress up, which is what I'm getting to. A lot of, like, my local area, like the city near me. The city nearest to me actually is planning to do a big Halloween get-together, but the poster essentially makes it look like a cosplay meet. Like, I was looking at that poster, and all I saw was a giant picture. It was like, Halloween theming, and then down the bottom it had like a picture of the previous year, and it was just like 50 people dressed up as various forms of anime person. The various Homo animeus. The next version of the Homo sapien line. Which would just mean, Homo animus would just mean, like, moving. That would just mean someone who moves. Which I bloody hope would be the future of mankind. I wouldn't want to become Homo stagnus. Point is, it just seems to be some sort of cosplay meetup. I'm tempted to go. Just rock up and just say whatever I'm wearing as a cosplay. But like, yeah, totally, I'm cosplaying as a... what am I cosplaying as? What's the best thing to cosplay? Maybe, well, I'm super white. I've got blue eyes. Sure, I could find someone I'm cosplaying as. I don't know, put on a hat and say I'm cosplaying as a cowboy. Put on a red suit with, white trimmings and say I was cosplaying Santa Claus. Yeah, that's my Halloween costume. Santa Claus. Yeah, what you gonna do about that, eh? It's a, you know, a 2 for the price of 1 costume, that one. I'll just put, like, I'll wear one of those fake fangs, say I'm like Vampire Santa Claus or something. He sparkles in the sunlight, which is because I'm so white, the sun reflects off me and, like, blinds people. I'm like a walking flashbang. I thought you were going to say something very different from a second there. Yeah? Yeah? Did I sound like I was going to say something worrying? I don't know. Point is, why I'm streaming tonight, and not tomorrow night, on Halloween, is because, as always, the local bar has decided to do its Halloween party. You could cosplay that as that German guy from that one anime with the robot girl. That is a very specific reference. German guy? From the anime with the robot girl? That is so specific. Why does it worry me that you said that German guy from an anime of a robot girl? Was this robot girl in combat from 1930s to 1945? white hair. They made a live action movie of it. Oh, did they? Fun. But yes, no, the local bar is doing their Halloween party. And I may attend, and I may not. I haven't decided. But I want to keep the night open. Forgot the name of it. I forgot, I'm not playing a game. I can just look things up now. I have an extra monitor that's not being taken up by a game. Oh, wow. Thank God. Amazing. Wow. Wow. We also have a long weekend. We have Halloween and a long weekend. God, I'm lucky. The guy that hunts robots for money. I really don't think that narrows it down very much, mate. Hate to tell you. Anime about a guy that hunts robots for money. It's really famous, is it now? Nope, that's definitely not it. Nope, that's not it. Casshern Sin is very good. And I'm assuming Casshern is too. But Casshern Sin was a wild reboot of that series. Neo-Human Casshern. Whoa. Is that the one? That's the one, isn't it? Casshern. It's Casshern, isn't it? It must be. Because that's sort of what that whole thing is about. Now, I did know it. No? That's about a guy who hunts down robots. I don't know if there's a German guy in it, but it's about a guy who hunts down robots. It's 2000, it's, you know, 1990s. And you know, Casshern Sin, wild reboot, by the way. Wild reboot. Alita Battle Angel. Oh, yeah. That does have a German dude, or at least I think he looks German. And that is a weird series, you know? That is a bizarre series. Alita Battle Angel. I've read it, and I also watched some of it, of the animation. And I read some of the manga. It's a journey. That's the only way. It's a saga. Dr. Dyson Ido. Weirdly enough, Dr. Dyson is also an American academic and author. But it is a bizarre series, you know? Like, it's one of those series that feels more like an old saga. Where just, it keeps going. And things keep happening. And things keep going on. And keep moving. And keep doing. And like, it feels like an extreme time spans have like gone over. Played by Christoph Waltz in the movie. Oh, yeah! That guy is German, isn't he? Austrian or something. Doesn't matter. But he does often... He did have a bit of a type... I feel like he did have a bit of a typecasting for a while, didn't he? It was just like, here's the spooky German man that does the spooky German things. Apparently he was an Inspector Rex, though. What a great TV series to be in. Inspector Rex. Oh, he's in one of the Frankenstein movies that are coming out this year, too. Maybe instead of going to the Halloween party tomorrow, I'll just stay on my own, by myself, and watch a horror movie. That could be good. Speaking of horror movies, you mentioned you were watching horror movies. Father figure to Alita. There we go. Yes, I believe he was. Certainly that. Because she has, like, no memories, and, this, that, and the other. That was heck. Oh, was it Hank? Oh, sorry. I'm getting things confused. Your names all fused together when I was looking. Have you watched any horror movies? Anyone watched any horror movies recently? Did I watch a horror movie recently? Suppose unless you find kids' movies horrifying. Don't watch a movie. I don't even own a TV. Fair enough. But you do have a computer, don't you? And a phone. Both are capable of watching TVs in this great modern age of technology. Like, I have a TV. Don't use it to watch TV anymore because I don't pay for the goddamn NHK. I don't like horror movies. I don't want to be scared. That's often why I didn't watch horror movies, and often why I don't play horror games. So, you probably have seen what I scream, and would reasonably conclude that I liked horror movies, or horror games. But by myself, they're boring to me. They're neither scary, they're either bad or boring. Because I'm just not a person very easily scared. And I don't want to sound like I'm like, oh, I'm so tough. Put me in an outside, in a real situation, and I'm a scared shitless sometimes. I've been in some situations that have scared the goddamn hell out of me. I just don't find that from movies. I don't know. I can connect with laughter. I connect with sadness. I can connect with the bittersweet feelings a story is trying to tell. But I have never been able to connect with fear. Maybe I've just lived too good a life. But I've been scared before in real life. I've faced fears and I've been scared. I just can't ever get that from a movie. I don't know. The suspense is boring. Not killing me. So it is sort of rare for me to get into it. Maybe I just find it more difficult to get into horror movies. Maybe. You know, I've been jump scared before, but I feel that's rather cheap. A sort of dread. And though games are better at getting me than movies, I do enjoy a horror movie with company. Because I get to laugh at people who are scared. Or to sort of go like, whoa, that was so cool, look at that thing they did. Like, me and my nephews often watch horror movies together. I never watch them on my own. It's always something we do together. We're like, whoa. I had a colleague that I lived next door to for a while when I was in Japan, and we loved watching horror movies together. It was fun. Because, you know, watching Japanese horror. And going, whoa, that ghost just gave her a baby in a jar. Which is not something I expected to be able to say about a horror movie. Or that woman just turned into a goddamn dog because apparently her ancestors hunted and also slept with dogs. Not too sure what that story was about. It gets very confusing when you get into weird, obscure Japanese horror. Why were there so many dogs? And why did that woman turn into a dog? Was it the curse of the dogs? Or did her ancestors somehow have relations with dogs? We may never know. Also, how many Japanese horror movies are going to use time as a thing? Point is, maybe that's what I should do tomorrow night. Contact one of my nephews and we can have a nice night in watching some spooky horror. It's good though. I do like it, but it's something I enjoy in a sort of jovial sense. I'll be scared by. And I feel like that I always play them on stream. That's why I tend to play. And I enjoy playing horror on stream. It's so much funner. I don't know. Fun is more fun. So much more fun. I shouldn't be saying funner. I'm getting bad habits. But it's so much more fun to watch and play horror on stream, I find. It's just, I don't know. There's just a little bit of community to it. It's a good time. We have good times here. And also, you know, I do enjoy... Sorry, I just got really distracted by a game I just saw. What the hell is that? Is that like an FMV game? Is that an FMV dating simulator about Yakuza women? It is. Weird. The community recommends these games today. Dating simulator, FMV dating simulator with Yakuza women. Not real Yakuza women, I assume they're actors. But yes, no. I want Chiller's Art to release a game, just because I love the vibes. Come on, Chiller's Art. Guys, we're gonna release a new game, come on. I want a new game, Chiller's Art. Oh look, I've already got a bot. They don't get to be on my stream anymore, though. There's a new FMV game making the rounds where he plays a concubine in the court of a Chinese emperor. Oh, so last, mate. Is that a category I can search for, though? FMV. Should have clicked on it. A category. Alright, yep. Ooh, look at all these spooky ladies. Oh my god, it's the classic Japanese thing of a woman standing on tall object, wearing short skirt. Can I still let you kill? It really is my mother-in-law. It's called Refate. FMV. Alright, FMV. Come on, Steam. God, it's another Japanese dating simulator. This one's got a foreign girl in it, though, I think. A girl who's at least pretending to be foreign. You are the sole male student at a woman's university. You're about to mark on a... What? No, get back here. That's Command and Conquer. A sweet love-filled camper. How love journey from a first-person perspective. How you resist the temptation of beauties and create your own legend in this girls' school. I don't know. I think this is Chinese. It is. Damn, that guy got kicked. Get smacked. Damn, oh my god. Oh no, they're doing the weird leg thing. Oh, he's angry. God, it must be so awkward. Look, it's Command and Conquer 3. Kane's Wrath. The perfect FMV game. Command and Conquer. Space. Ew, no. Not a fan of Command and Conquer. Tiberian. I don't think that's Command. I don't think that's Command. Space. Not passed. RA2. Fair enough. What was that goddamn guy? Why can't I remember the actor's name? The only place not corrupted by capitalism. They gave Command and Conquer 3 a StarCraft interface and changed the lore of Tiberium. Oh no! That's Red Alert, sorry, I got confused. Not Command and Conquer 3, Red Alert 3. Oh, that is Command and Conquer. I'm stupid. God damn it, I'm stupid. It's Command and Conquer 3, Red Alert 3. Sorry. Not a fan of Red Alert 3? Not a fan of Tim Curry going, they're going to the one place that haven't been corrupted by capitalism. Space! Not a fan of that? I think that's pretty fun. Yes, they changed the law of Tiberium. Your whole namesake, my friend. What are you gonna be if you're not Tiberian? Ah. Anyway, back to FMV games. It was okay, but they changed how the structures were built. Fair enough. Oh look! JR East Train Simulator is an FMV game. Probably could have guessed that. We've got Command and Conquer 3 again. We've got more Chinese dating simulators. Oh, maybe Japanese this time. It looks Chinese, but it must embody the community detective Maple Kurosawa, which is a very Japanese name, but that is definitely Chinese. Oh my god! It's got a Chinese woman dressed up as an Arabian woman. My goodness. Morningwood Lodge. The Late Shift, a cinematic crime thriller. Alien plant, but they changed it to be crystals growing straight from the ground. Yeah, because crystals. Revenge on gold diggers. And how is that in the FMV section? I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these games do look like they're FMV. That is just a AI created adult game. That's a horror game. Looks cool. Not an FMV game. There it is, Road to Empress. I found it. I think I had seen this before, actually. You're right. I may have seen this. Look at that. Oh, there's a monk man. That's who I date. I date the monk in chains. The bald man. Beautiful. Let it stay in the past. Just let the past stay in the past. You're fooling yourself. I can help you get revenge. You've never played a game like this. Road to Empress is a cinematic palace adventure where your choices decide everyone's fate. Tackle 100 plus story branches and a high morality rate with charm, wisdom, and courage. Why is that a question? Sorry, I'll change the way I said that. Tackle 100 story branches with a high morality rate with charm, wisdom, and courage. First, survive. Amazing. God, it's always 25... Oh, there's an expansion pack with bloopers. That's actually pretty good. I like the idea of that. That's actually a cute thing to put in an FMV game. That's cute. I like that. Putting like the little content you can buy as like a $1 little pack that kind of gives you like bloopers. That's fun. I think that's fun. That's cute. That's cute. I like that. That's cute. It does look cinematic. Why does it look like some Chinese production company was like, shit, we're not making much money off making C dramas on TV these days, are we? Fuck it. Steam game, mate. Let's go. It has got to be. This must be such a pain in the ass to record, doesn't it? I know they have a lot of experience from, like, filming these things very quickly. Like, you know, Korea and China are very well known for being extremely quick with these productions, and quite brutal, I imagine. And they've got all the sets, that's the thing. These C-dramas and K-dramas all tend to use similar sets because they just build one big Chinese palace set and go, fuck it, we'll use it for every drama for the next 30 years. We'll just change the inside, but it's the same general structure, you know? Oh, way she could turn the tables. Oh, damn! That dude's got like a pompadour, but he's a... Whoa! She turned into a person. Can romance the two princes. A devoted princess, or a scene queen. Seduce the, Empress Dowager, whatever it is. I want to get that mature lady. To be fair, China only has one Forbidden Palace. It does only have one Forbidden Palace, but I do believe by its very name that I don't think anyone's filming C-dramas in it. It's called the Forbidden Palace. Speaking of, I am so shocked the guys kept that place. You know, it seems like one of those places they'd knock down for being a sign of the old authorities, but... It's shocking. They didn't do it in the end, did they? I guess people like it. It is rather aesthetic. Oh, Space Marine's got a Halloween update. Speaking of Halloween updates, I believe Monster Hunter had one. Probably not going to play it, but it's there. It is a Halloween update. that has come out, or a game I play. Silent Hill. I mean, that's why they don't need more than one set. Fair enough. There is only one palace that anyone's ever had, I suppose. At least, I don't know. I wonder what palace they were using when most of these based. Most of these like Han China of some kind, usually. That's so they can have like a northern barbarian that's sort of cool as well. They don't build generic Chinese palace like Hollywood does. The problem with the generic Chinese palace in Hollywood movies is they always seem to be super big, I always find. Like, I feel like I've noticed a lot with the more Chinese media, a lot of the palaces aren't as tall. Like Chinese palaces and a lot of American stuff, these huge, almost monolithic structures that have got like these sweeping, grand, tower-like columns in it. Like it's the Greek pantheon or something. But I feel like the inside of is quite low. Like the throne room of the Palace of the Forbidden City is not too tall. It's tall, mind you, and it's very grand, but it's not the grandiosity that they seem to be inflicting upon us. You know, just doesn't feel as tall as they always like to make them seem. I'm thinking like marble floors, big sweeping pillars on either side leading up to a very fancy Chinese throne. I don't know where I've seen it, but that's like the feeling I have. Whereas when you look at the actual Chinese palace, it's rather small. Like putting dragons everywhere in Chinese architecture with reserve for the emperor historically. Historically, yes. Historically, indeed. Can't hear me put my glass down. Damn. Historically, indeed. Dragons do look pretty cool. I'd put it on my architecture if I was a cool fellow who had stuff. The first Western film to be authorized by the People's Republic of China to film in the Forbidden City in Beijing, The Last Emperor. Don't know why that turned up when I looked up the Forbidden City inside. Ultimo Imperator is a 1987 epic biographical drama about the life of Puyi, last Emperor of China. Directed by Bernardo Bertolucci. Fun. Don't know why that was a thing. Hey, it was premiered at the 1987 Tokyo International Film Festival. After the earthquake in San Francisco, they rebuilt Chinatown, put dragons everywhere. That's why Americans put them everywhere. Oh, what an interesting reason that happened. It does happen. Japan isn't, free from putting dragons everywhere either. But, they have their own symbol that they associate with the royal family. I don't know if the Japanese have ever associated the royal family with dragons. I think that's only the Chinese. Japan doesn't have as many dragon legends. They do have some dragon legends. I don't know. I feel like they mostly come from China, though. They do have the whole, various lizard-like creatures that are dragons. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. What animal is the emperors of Japan associated with? What a specific question. Oh, yes. Yes, they are, by the way. Yes, they are chrysanthemums, yes. The imperial crest of Japan is a chrysanthemum. Big flower. Known as the Mon. It is the big chrysanthemum crest. You see it on all their passports. The 16-petal chrysanthemum is a widely known symbol of the emperor. Such as expression of the imperial chrysanthemum crest is popular. And there's a lot of it. There is a lot of it. There is a lot of it. There's a few different symbols too. You've got like the circle, but I'm pretty sure you've also got the symbol of like the Prime Minister, which is like the three like leaves with the 3 flowers above it. I don't think America has a flower. No, I'm pretty sure it does have a flower, probably. Probably is a flower. The national emblems of Japan. You've got the state seal, the privy seal, and the cabinet seal. I've seen the state seal before. I've also seen the emperor's seal back in the day. I saw a real copy of the peace treaty. A story I will always tell. That I saw a real copy in an old lady's house. In the middle of nowhere, Australia. A real, honest-to-God copy of the peace treaty. For some unknown reason. This little old lady we knew played the piano like a master, had in her house a copy of the goddamn surrender at the end of World War II. From the Japanese. Old MacArthur's bloody signature was on it. And the giant imperial seal. From the Japanese. Pretty sure America has a flower, though. USA, national flower. I believe the Australian is the golden wattle. Symbols of the United States. Oh, that CNC clone. When a Coca clone launched earlier this year, did it? Any good? The national flower is the rose. There you go, Tiberian. The American national flower is the rose. Whoa. That's new one to me. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the rose either. I feel like that's just them trying to make fun of the English for some reason. I don't know. Feels like it's making fun of the English. Feels like it's making fun of the English. Isn't the English as a rose too? I'm crazy, but that's what it says on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not wrong. Maybe. The Australian national flower is one of the Australian native flowers, of course. Which is, I believe, the golden wattle. You can see it on our crest. It's the golden wattle, and it's on our coat of arms, the Australian coat of arms. Especially the very colourful one. Got the golden wattle absolutely covering it. I still think they should have gone with the bottle brush, but you know, or like the Waratah. Waratah's pretty cool. Waratah's a pretty sweet flower. I think the bottle brush is on one of these. Yeah, oh no, it's just red. It would be really good to put like little bottle brushes on it. Waratah's a pretty sweet flower. Those things are fucking huge. Look weird as hell. For the old, I believe it's the New South Wales flower, the Waratah. Cool looking flower though. Cool looking flower. I do love how weird Australian flowers look. They've all got, like, tiny, thin petals. Pretty much all, like, so many Australian flowers are, like, little thin petals. I don't actually know if they are petals, but they're all very thin. Look like brushes. Look like they could use them for Velcro. Looks like you could use them for Velcro, I swear. This is a Waratah, by the way. If you were wondering what that looks like. I've covered the screen in a Waratah. But that's what a Waratah looks like. It's the Waratah flower. Looks cool, doesn't it, though? Does look cool. Enjoy myself. Weird, they are very weird. Most Australian flowers are weird. Let's look at the golden wattle. It's a golden wattle. Acacia pignethia. I keep forgetting how many of them are acacias. The golden wattles are like these little pom-pom looking bastards. Like yellow pom-poms. And they do look quite golden in some light. This picture looks a bit more yellow than golden, but... yeah, this is a golden wattle. The Australian national flower. The very long, sort of crescent-shaped leaves. It's quite a distinct plant. I quite like it, though. One of my favourites, though, is not the golden wattle, but the bottle brush. Because it's this thing. Weirdly enough, I have seen a bottle brush in Japan. They're quite large plants. This is a bottle brush. Look at them. Look at all these weird little trees. Because even if you look at the golden wattle, you could also see that the flower is actually made up of tiny little hairs. Like little hairs, you know? They're not like flower petals, per se. But they are the flower petals, but they're like these little hairs. Everything's made of little hairs. Woo! What bottle brushes? Well, you know where they come from. Like everything else, you know, like most other weird species in America, come from Australia. Don't know why. But they get quite big. And they've got very thin petals. It's got very thin leaves, but they can get quite large. And quite distinct. Little bottle brush. And I've seen them in Japan, in the weirdest places. I was riding through the countryside. Through the mountains somewhere. And I saw it. I saw the red and green, and I stopped. And it was a bottle brush in the middle of God nowhere. Don't know why. It's like, what the bloody hell is this yard? Of this, like, tiny... It was, like, in, like, a little valley area. So the house had, like, barely any land. Because it was, like, on the side of the cliff. It was, like, road, up, house, and then up, and, like, trees and mountain. And in that little space, for some reason, they had planted a bottle brush in their very small yard. Why the fuck do you have a bottle brush? For what purpose do you have this plant? Maybe it's good for bees or something. I don't know. Finish my drink. It was very confusing. Very confusing. Botany is so cool. Oh, yeah? I'm massively fascinated by picture plants and Venus flytraps. Well, there's nothing more fascinating than a carnivorous plant, certainly. I'll give you that. I knew a fellow who used to raise carnivorous plants. I don't know, you know, he kind of always scared me a little. That guy was strange. But he was wealthy, so I suppose your greenhouse is what to do with what you will, I suppose. Maybe it was because he's wealthy I didn't trust him. Bottle brush was more popular in the 80s and 90s. Can't remember the last time I saw one. Yeah. I wonder if this is where the same reason. I think it might have been a fashion thing, because I've seen 2 older houses have bottle brushes. But anyway, Explosion Mage. You like picture plants and Venus flytraps, but what is your national flower, if you're not from the USA? Because the national flower of the USA is apparently a rose, which seems really boring. In 1986, the Ronald Reagan signed legislation to make rose the national floral emblem of the United States. There you go. Yeah, Explosion Mage. So it's a newer thing, fair enough. What's your #1 go-to plant? Right now I'm just loving weird Australian plants. It's just fun. I like myself a weird Australian plant. They all just look so bizarre. Australian flowers. God, they're all so bizarre. They pretty much all, so many of them have that weird thing. Of course, USA, but my state flower is the flowering dogwood. Wow. Sounds like something somebody would say as an innuendo in Australia. Not to offend the name. Dogwood, eh? I suppose that means there's a species of non-flowering dogwood. Wow, they look kind of impressive. They almost look like a white sakura tree. They look like a white sakura tree. We got morning glory for those flowers, for those centimeters. You know what the Japanese call morning glory? Asagao. Asagao is what the Japanese call morning glory. Asagao. Because it literally means morning face. Because they're known for blooming in the morning. So you're able to see their faces in the morning. Hence, Asagao. Gao is face, Asa is morning. It's fun. You know how I learnt that? You know how I learnt that? Asagao. Because I was watching a children's TV show on the navigation system of my tiny little white K-car that I drive around the countryside of Japan. I was eating my breakfast and I was practicing my Japanese about halfway to my workplace because I was bored that morning and I hadn't actually organised anything for breakfast, so I had to go pick up breakfast from the convenience store. And I was sitting in the parking lot and I went, you know what, I'll practice my Japanese. Turned the radio on. Couldn't get a goddamn signal for some reason. So I turned the goddamn TV on, crystal clear. For some reason I can watch TV in car. It doesn't turn off if I drive. It just lets me do it. And there was a little show called, like, Wakey Show or something like that. And, they were doing, like, a quiz where they'd, like, describe something with, like, related hints. And he described it like, it's a flower that you can find when the sun's coming up and its name sounds like an animal cry. Or something like that in Japanese. And I was practicing. I was like, oh, okay, an animal cry. I don't know any Japanese name for flowers, so I had absolutely no chance of getting this. But these little weird... This whole... It's really hard to describe Japanese... Yeah, I really said it's very literal. Sorry, I'm going on the whole thing. My state flower is this orange blossom. Ooh, orange blossom water is quite nice. Pointers. I'm going... Absolutely... Where was I talking about? That's right. Sorry, Japanese. Sorry, I'm let me talk about this for a while. But for some reason this quid was being there was two characters. There was a child who was not a character. I think it was just a young child, probably some poor unfortunate child actor. A giant blob man and a chair. That was the three main characters of this Wakey show. And they were getting a quiz, which was being emceed by what appeared to be a haunted chair? Bastard looked straight up like a ghost and had a voice of like, I am on my way. Asa Kao. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I turned the TV on in my little car and I just went... Anandeska. And then when they got the question wrong, it was like, boo-boo. I'm like, god damn, I'm half expecting this motherfucker to set a saw trap off on them. I'm fearing for this child's life. Not sure what you're ranting about, but I'm about to invest. Don't you worry. Invest in bizarre children's TV shows in Japan. I don't get it. It was great practice, though, because they were using simple English, because it was for the children, like me. Found the show, Mitskita. Wow! How the hell did you find that so quick? Jesus. Because there's like a series of different TV shows that happen in this like Wakey show segment of NHK. Ghost Chair. How the hell did you find that so quick? There he is! It's our boy, the ghost chair. Quick, let's see if I can get the ghost chair up. This is a plushie of the ghost chair. There he is. Beautiful. And this was nowhere near. This was nowhere near Halloween, by the way. This guy just is a character on the show, and he just sounds like that. He just goes around going, Ohayo gozaimasu. O genki desu ka? I'm like, what the hell was that? But it's how that's... All in all, that's how I figured out, because the answer to that question was what's a flower that's in the morning and sounds like an animal, and it was asagao, because in Japanese, the sound gao is like the sound a lion makes. I believe. It's sort of to be raw. It's like a roaring sound. It's supposed to be like an onomatopoeia for roar. Like gao. Gao. It's supposed to be like a roar sound from like a large beast, like a lion. That's about how I expect a ghost to sound. I know! But for what purpose, I must ask you, Tiberian? For what purpose? What purpose, Tiberian? By the way, let me show you what the three main characters... That's a weapon. Wolves go gao, too. Yeah, it's like a large... It's all like large beasts. Go gao. They also have a TV show about just chairs that is related to this, called Isu no Machi no Koshi or something like that. I don't know why I remember that so well. But I know Isu no Machi no something or other, Kotsu, something or other. Isu no Machi means literally chair town. Ever seen Pee-wee's Playhouse? There's a dog chair. Pee-wee Playhouse. Japanese youth are stronger than our weak-minded heritage. The proof is the fear of clowns isn't a much of a thing in Japan. You know, I remember this guy, actually. I don't think he made it much to Australia, but I've seen this fella before, and that is awful. You are correct. Tiberian, you are right. There's not just a dog chair. There's... Whatever the hell that other chair with the large eyelashes is. That's frightening. And I don't think they have a fear of clowns, Explosion Mage, because they have the opposite of a fear of clowns. They have a love of clowns. Weirdly enough, I think. Don't know why that's the case. Let's get this haunted ass chair off my goddamn screen. Get away from me. Get away from me, Asagao. This was the first time I'd ever seen that character. There's a monster that comes up from the floor called Flory. That's definitely somebody's nightmare. Ooh, that is definitely somebody's nightmare. Jesus Christ. God, we've gone through a lot today. We've gone through plants. I heard thunder as soon as the haunted chair was laid. With a sudden clap of thunder. I don't have any way to make a thunder sound. A sudden clap of thunder. Not very good at voices. Yes. Weird stuff. Did I ever ask you? I suddenly remembered that you told me about some game that had come out recently. Did the game that came out recently, was it good, Tiberian? Did you play that Tempest Rising game? I've just got the game still open and it suddenly reminded me. God, I'm so confused sometimes. Point is, Japanese TV shows can be very weird. But they do make it very easy for me to practice my Japanese, so... No, never played it. Fair enough. Looks like it's got great faces. It's funny, those faces are so good. If you told somebody back in the 90s they were FMV, they'd probably believe you. Goodness gracious. Sorry. Talking in the horror voices. Made me coughing. Made me cough. Look at all those weird... Oh yeah, Banksias. They're also a really favorite. Going back to flowers. So you have something that looks like a torture device. Came up when I was searching for FMV games. Why? It doesn't have any FMV. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, desert peas. They're fun. God, Australian flowers are weird. But anyway. Oh. They look like pre-rendered CGI FMB. Yeah, they do look a bit like that. When I was looking at it, I'm like, damn, that guy's face is really intense. Also, always gotta be a guy wearing the red and black uniform, eh? Can never get away from one of these games with a fellow without wearing a red and black uniform. Always the red and black. With the gold trimming. God, it's like me. I'm more of a blue and white. With silver trimming there. But shame on them for not using human actors. Yeah, come on. Just get the guys, just tell the guys that you're going to be motion capturing them, and then just just make it them. Oh no, my internet died for a moment there. I've lost. Oh my god! Oh my god! You guys can't see this. Holy shit! Quick! Oh my god! Wait a second. One more time. My god! The dropped frames of my scream. My god, the dropped frames of my scream. It's so cursed and spooky. Go to a local theatre company. Fair enough. Yeah, you could probably find someone there that'd love to play it. Oh my god. The dropped frames. It's so spooky. So spooky. The true scary Halloween event where Quintus is suddenly 10 FPS. It's true. I don't know why my stream... It just does that at night time sometimes here. I guess I probably... maybe I'm just like... It gets busy on the internet around here. I don't know. I'm in the middle of goddamn nowhere. There's probably like 2 internet lines out of this place. That's what I get for living in rural Japan. Give me a moment. I just found something stupid. Whoa! Look how spooky this is! Whoa! The drop frames of my scream. Oh, so spooky. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. It's the number of the beast. The end of the world is coming. Oh! Save yourselves! Repent! Repent, for my scream has prophesied the end. Repent! Ah! Repent! 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 The prophesied end is coming. Ah! I don't know why I went this way. No, there you go. There you go. Much better. Ah! Hello. It is me. The real me, of course. Let me get my face on. Wait a second, let me draw my face back on with a Sharpie. There it is. Beautiful. So, I'm totally Eric Quintus. If you see me outside, don't worry. Just let me in. I am not dangerous. I am entirely safe. Don't worry. It's me, your good neighborhood old man geriatric, Eric Quintus. I'm entirely trustworthy. This isn't just because my scream suddenly went all spooky and has now 666 dropped frames. And point 4. Point 4, that's even scarier, because the number 4 in Japan is the number of death. So it is 666 frames, and that is 0.4% of my stream. Just imagine I'm doing a cool pog face. Like the kids do. They go, oh, you would not believe this scary place I went to in Japan. And yes, there is, actually, Explosion Mage, would you believe. They're called the Notpettable. And I've actually met someone who has reportedly met a Notpettable. Notpettable? Notpettable. I was chatting to a fella, and he's like, I saw this scare. He's a Westerner. And he doesn't know much about Japanese culture. He moved here for a job. He doesn't care much for Japan. Let's get the Wikipedia image because I found it hilarious. Check out this Wikipedia picture. There he is. What a guy. The Notpettable. Usually, though, about the Notpettables, they have features, but then when you look at them, they don't. Sometimes when you look at them, they don't. Or they disappear, or the features disappear. Or they have something hiding their face. So there'll be like a lady with like an umbrella or a fan or something. Then she'll go whoop. And they'll be like, whoa, shit, no face. This blank face, I was told, are hinted by tricked by a shapeshifter beast. They believe they may be not an actual spirit of their own, but like a sort of trick played by a, you know, raccoon dog. Or the old badger, or whatever it is. The Mujina. Or the Tanuki. Or the Kitsune. But yes. Good old Notpettable. Look at them go. Aren't they handsome? This one's certainly more handsome than that one. This one's not very handsome, is he? This guy. Now that's a guy with class. But yes, point is, there is a guy with no face. I don't know if any of the legends have them drawing a face on, but I do feel like some of the legends have them losing their face as you're speaking to them. Like, you'll meet someone and she'll ask for something, and then she'll look like she has a face, and then it'll, like, melt away into, like, a blank shape. That's pretty common in Japanese horror. I've heard of it before. A lot of the times it's seen as ladies, but ironically, strangely enough, I don't think I've seen ladies that commonly in the old art. I love Japanese folktales and yokai so much. America doesn't have too much about skinwalkers. Hey! You've got the, God, fearsome critters. I love myself a fearsome critter. What's that miserable one? And those are the only ones that get caught. Good old Notpettable. The thing about a Notpettable is their whole thing is to be caught. They want to be caught because they want to scare people. That's the point of having no face to them. And it'll be like things where a guy will have like a lantern and you'll be walking through town and you'll see a guy with a lantern. You'll be like, oh, excuse me, sir, where is the way to this? And he'll go, what? And he says, it's that way. And then he'll pull up the lantern towards his face and suddenly you'll be able to see he has no face. And it's like, whoa. It's very fun. Point is, you have the fearsome critters. What's that miserable bastard on the fearsome critters? Fearsome critters. I love them. They're so funny. That's like the, jackrabbit or what the hell it is. There he is. That's that son of a bitch. The miserable bastard. And the tripod guy. Little tripod dude. The Hoogag. Excuse me. Good old fearsome critters. The Bigfoot is a fearsome critter, technically. The ball-tailed cat. Classic. The jackalope. The side-hill gouger. The fur-bearing trout. The belled buzzard. The splinter cat. The squonk! Oh, there he is! Oh, there he is. There's our boy, the squonk. Oh, we love to see the squonk. We love the squonk in this household. There's that boy, the squonk. We love ourselves a squonk. There he is. There's a much better picture of the squonk. Let's see if we can find a much better picture of the squonk. The squonk has got to be much better than this. Squonk. Squonk! Squonk is beautiful. He is. Old squonky boy. Ah, look at him. Beautiful. Looks like a hound eye. Well, I believe the squonk, if I remember correctly, is so ugly, it cries all of the time. Because of its misfitting skin, which covered in warts and moles, it is always unhappy. Hunters who are good at tracking are able to follow a squonk by its tear-stained trail, for the animal weeps constantly. When cornered and escape seems impossible, or when surprised or frightened, it may even dissolve into tears itself. The slowest on moonlit nights as they try to avoid seeing their ugly appearance in any illuminated bodies of water. Ah, beautiful. Given to the species taxonomy of the creature, Lacryocorpus dissolvens, it is made up of the Latin tear, body, and dissolve. Ah, squonk, we love you in this household. Look at him go. I'm sure we can all relate to the squonk in some way. We've all had those moments where we look in the mirror and go, damn, I wish I too could dissolve into a puddle of tears upon being seen by the outside world. But I am not one of those people, because I have always looked in the mirror and gone, damn, that severe lack of a face is handsome. Damn, that weird analog holler expression you have on is sexy. And then I do like a Blue Magnum Zoolander thing into the mirror. It ceases to exist, and I get on with my day. It's really annoying to have to buy a mirror every time. I'm sorry, your human-made surfaces of reflection cannot contain my eldritch appearance. Hey, it has the Hopkinsville Gotham, which could get Pokemon based on them eventually. Eventually. Ah, there he is, Squonk. What a name. Everyone loves the Squonk. If you do not like the Squonk, then I'm unfortunately saying you cannot watch me anymore. Squonk is a good boy. He's just doing his best times. Why do I feel like the squonk was made up to make fun of somebody, though? The Wampus. Ah, yes! Of course the Australians have the not-fictional drop bear. Which is probably as cool as the squonk. There we are. Drop bear. What a guy. Good old predatory carnivorous bear that lives in trees. What a guy. What a guy. Do love to hear about the old drop bear. Haven't been in Australia recently. Haven't heard of drop bear attacks recently. Living in Japan is kind of boring sometimes. The old dreaded drop bear. And the hoop snake. They're good fun too. Though I think the hoop snake's also in America. The old hoop snake. But, you know, I feel like America has its critters. They're of a different type, though. I suppose American critters came out of, like, old, like, local folk that sort of doesn't have that hit. That it's, like, sort of... Especially a lot of the fearsome critters were made to, like, make fun of people. Like, new people to the woods. Oh, drop bears only attack tourists. That's what I'm talking about. They don't attack me, but you hear about the attacks a lot. They know, they can smell it, you know? They've got a real sensitive nose. If you haven't been raised on a diet of Vegemite and Wheat Bix, they've been known to smell that. You see, Vegemite and Wheat Bix are actually rather poisonous to a drop bear. So, fools to you for saying Vegemite and Weet-Bix was terrible, because it's a rather valuable resource in the land down under. Shame on you. Shame on you for saying it's disgusting. No, fairy bread's just nice. We just like fairy bread. It's not necessary. That's an indulgence. That's an indulgence. That's just an indulgence. God, the squonk is so ugly. And beautiful. I do love the fellow. The Flatwood Monster is a freaky minute. Oh yes, the old Flatwood Monster. Gotta love him. Gotta love aliens too. Speaking of, I feel like I missed a message of yours. And I've heard to talk about lacking supernatural experience because no joke, I've seen aliens. Speaking of aliens, the Flatwood. Not Flat World. The hell is Flat World? Why is that a Steam game? Good old Flatwoods Monster. That's the weird fellow in the big hat. Or crown or crest. Not too sure. What a guy. They do make him look scary in some pictures though. Damn. Jesus. I personally, I suppose I could say I've had some rather unexplainable experiences. But most of my experiences come secondhand from my mother and my father. They went through quite the ordeal of the demonic variety when I was not even born yet. One of my siblings was not yet born, but currently coming into existence at the time. Whole thing. Country towns and psychos. That's what I'd attribute it to if I was a skeptic, but it is a wonderful story. My mother tells it so well. It's like this ordeal of demonic possession, and murder, and a town under the shadow of a demon. But yeah, drones have ruined that. Yeah, I can imagine. They've also, weirdly enough, changed warfare more than I would have thought. Like little drones you can buy from a store have become the world's newest weapon. Strange how things go from children's toys to deadly munitions. But it is true. Back in the day, there was a big place in Australia about aliens, but I've never been much of a seer of the aliens. I've been more hearer of the strange things. And seer of the strange things. An experiencer of the strange coincidences. And knowing old ladies who tell you what to do and you do it. You haven't lived in a weird old town many, many years ago if you haven't lived in a town where one of your relatives, word is like law. They will walk up to you and say, "Should be cutting your grass next week." Or, before you head out today, make sure you bring X, Y, and Z. Such and such is going to ask you for it. And they were like, "Have you talked to such and such? I haven't seen them in a month." "How do you know this?" Don't argue with me, boy. Take the damn book." Like, okay, Jesus. That was my great-grandmother. She was apparently very well known for strange supernatural abilities, particularly just knowing things seemed to be her thing. Before anyone else, before the person themselves. She's one of those people who walk up to you, look at you and go, "Ah, congratulations." The couple go, "Why?" It's like, "It's good to see you having a boy. It'll finally give you a boy in that family of girls you've got." And they'd be like, "What is she talking about?" That was the kind of experiences my family went through. Where's Australia's Roswell? I don't think we have a Roswell. We do have our own alien. Australian UFOlogy. There you go. There's a rumor about Appalachian Mountains, America are full of well-meaning witches that act exactly how you're describing her. She was a strange lady. But she... You know, my family, before they became Christians, seemed to have quite the fascination with the pagan religions, particularly the old Celtic stuff. It's where my family one of my sides of my family came from, was one of the heavily Celt areas that still practiced a lot of that religion, even under the throes of organized religion. So you never know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe I've got a little bit of the green man in my bones. UFOlogy. UFOlogy. I don't know if we have it. Where do you see all the Australian UFOs? The Westwell UFO was UFO sighting in Australia that occurred in 1966 in Melbourne, Victoria. Oh, it was seen over the city of Melbourne. Oh, Jesus. Ugh. Always had to listen to old great grandma. She always knew what she was talking about. You never know, maybe I'm the descendant of a witch. Maybe I could become a warlock. I'm old enough. I feel like old people should get superpowers. Me specifically. I don't want any other old people getting superpowers. Just me. Because I am clearly cooler than everyone else. Australian high UFO sighted location. I feel like there's one place. There's a place. No. Where's the place everyone sees UFOs in Australia? There's gotta be a place. UFO phenomenon, CSIRO, Fred Stone. God, what a cool time. Oh no! The Queensland members went their own way. They made the Queensland Flying Saucer Research Bureau, QFSRB, now known as the UFO Research Queensland, UFOR Queensland. UFORQ. Good to know. '60s state collaboration. Fractures? There were fractures and there was general underground friction and competitive between Australian UFO groups? Who the hell is writing this Wikipedia article? There is so much in this Wikipedia article. Oh my god. There is so much. About, like, the goddamn 1960s and 70s UFO group drama. My god, they were having, like... I'm waiting for the goddamn... You know... Charlie video about the... 1960s Australian UFO community drama goes crazy, or whatever. From that fellow with the long hair. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh, shit. The 1960s drama is crazy. It's wild. Oh, they pissed off the ASIO, eh? I can't believe they managed to get on... I can't believe so many of these UFO groups got on the ASIO's watch list. Why was the ASIO watching the UFO community drama? What the hell does a group with pink tendencies mean? The hell does that mean? You Sydney UFO... What the hell does that mean? ASO quotes AFSRS President Fred Stone lacking trust in the Victorian group and reportedly associated with a Sydney UFO group that was controlled by people with pink tendencies. What does that mean? What does pink tendencies mean? Is he saying they're gay? Is that what that means? Or does it mean they're, like, controlled by women? Was this some sort of alien thing? Did he think women were aliens? And I can't believe that's a document that's quoting him. That's a document from the Australians. It's a document from the Security Intelligence Organization. Why is the Australian CIA having a dossier on Fred Stone, the guy who researches... I guess that would be something you'd want. They would definitely be the kind of person who breaks into a military base, wouldn't they? Again, no, never mind. It's probably fair that they have a dossier on the fella. South Australian group was finished. They're taking each other out. The UFO communities, they were like assassinating each other or something. Jesus Christ. Which led to a push from Sydney to take control of the States Group's magazine. Copyright of the States Group magazine, the Australian Fire Saucer Review. Oh, they closed the stores on Sydney. Damn, it's that classic Victoria's Sydney... That classic Victoria's Sydney competitiveness. They always gotta be fighting each other, even when it comes to UFO groups. Also because some UFOs are testing. Like, the popular UFO sighting is rumored to be a secret testing project called the TR-3 Black Manta. Ah. Well, didn't the old, wasn't the Blackbird? The old stealth craft that looks like a Dorito. Wasn't that one of the ones that was thought to be a UFO? Because it looks really weird. And it's, like, dead quiet. That's its whole thing. It's supposed to be, like, practically... It's very quiet. What's that thing called again? Wow, everyone's making, like, things of it. What was that American stealth thing called again? Stealth jet. Do they even use that thing anymore? The Northrop B-2 Spirit. That's the one. That thing looks weird. We have, like, the evolution of that. The Nighthawk or the Black Hawk, I think. Is it called the Black Hawk? Although the F-117 Nighthawk was the jet that was supposed to be the one they thought was a UFO. Let me look that one up. F-117 Nighthawk. For sale? Oh, that's the Lockheed one. They do both look very... They have a very similar idea, don't they? You've got the B-2 Spirit, which is the one I was thinking of, which is the more Dorito-looking thing. But then you've got the Nighthawk. That is very bizarre looking. Doesn't look like a UFO, though. So much as just UFO. That's the problem about all these stealth planes. None of them had the weird, smooth texture they always describe UFOs as having. But I just imagine that's because they look really hard, weird to see. They look very weird to look at. Do they still use the B-2 Spirit? It's a heavy strategic bomber that uses low observable stealth technology to potentiate sophisticated anti-aircraft defenses. It's also referred to as the stealth bomber. That's the one I was thinking of. God, it looks cool, doesn't it? It just doesn't look like it should be able to fly, to be honest. There it is, the Nighthawk. They replaced it with a smaller one. How did they? I'm surprised any of these things are still functional. What's that big one that they like to pull out in video games? The big fella that goes really high. The Black Manta is still smooth and has funky lights, which is why it's so popular. Because we don't even know it actually aliens or the government still. Recently, like within the last 5 years. Oh, really? They've only recently... And the upcoming B-21 Raider. Is that the one they're replacing it with? The B-21 Raider? You mean the B-52 Stratofortress? That's an awesome name. God, they know how to name things sometimes. What a name! And no, it's not a B-52. Talking about... It's like, it's a surveillance craft. Though B-52 Stratofortress is a spectacular name. Jesus. Carry up to 70,000 pounds of weapons. No, I'm talking about something else. I feel like it's called the Blackbird. Jet. It was a big one. It's not used anymore. I think it was retired ages ago or something like that. The U2? No, I'm talking about the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. Its nicknames include Blackbird and Habu. Habu. Which is the Okinawan viper that's used for alcohol, weirdly enough, if you didn't know. Habushu is the name for alcohol that has been aged with a whole poisonous snake inside of it. It's not as bad as you think. A lot sweeter than you'd expect for the alcohol named after a venomous snake native to Okinawa. I don't know why this plane got Habu as a name, but now I'm talking about the SR-71 Blackbird. That's the one I think of when I think of stealth. Strategic, because they just go really high, don't they? This one's real quick too, this bastard. This was real quick too. It used to be at Mach 3.2 at 80,000 feet. It could outpace missiles. That's the one I was thinking of. That's sure what I was thinking of. Wow. That is a cool name for a very stupid looking plane. The U2 Dragon Lady. That is a boring plane. Look at that thing. It looks like a child's drawing of a plane. How it is, I suppose. Oh. Anyway. They're still using this thing. Jesus. They are, aren't they? They can't be still using these things. Because it was a member of the line of bombers preceded by the Flying Fortress and the Super Fortress. Well, the B-52s were always a series of planes that were known for being really big and carrying a lot of bombs. It's the sort of thing they were known for. Yo, B-52s. That's a cocktail, by the way. The B-52. How did we get onto goddamn B50 or Biffy is, I believe, like Kahlua Irish cream and something else. Let me look it up. And weirdly enough, the Grand Marnier, or sometimes replaced with triple sec or Contra. Whoa, that is a weird cocktail. And the zombie, the old tiki cocktail. We'll have that thing open. They're good for delivering nukes, but they also turned out to be good for dropping conventional bombs on Charlie. Damn, what the hell did Charlie ever do to the Americans? Jesus. What the hell how did we get from flowers to B-52 bombers? How did this happen to us? It was UFOs. That's the connection. Australian nature. Critters. UFOs. Lockheed Martin. Charlie was going to build a better helicopter, of course. That bastard. God damn it, Charlie. He's such a bastard. Brain. What's a brain hemorrhage again? That's a layered drink that looks really gross. Ah. Love ourselves a bed. It's all the fuss of that goddamn ghost chair, to be honest. It is. Damn ghost chair. There it is, brain hemorrhage. Delicious looking filth, isn't it? I think that's like vodka and Bailey's, I think. And grenadine to get the blood. Fair enough. Makes sense. I unfortunately... Oh, it's peach schnapps, Bailey's and grenadine. I only have peach schnapps, so I can't make that cocktail. Oh well. Next time. It's that goddamn ghost shit, you're right. But I was trying to keep in the spirit of Halloween. You know? This is Halloween, this is Halloween, and all that. Even though Halloween's tomorrow, but that's beside the point. I'll be probably at a Halloween party and or watching horror movies. Not at a Halloween party. But just as drunk as I would be if I had gone to the Halloween party. So, I won't be able to stream tomorrow, is the point. Which is why I'm streaming now. Speaking of, I need to buy a bottle of Habushu. You know what? Maybe I won't ever buy a bottle of Habushu. Snake wine. Until I go to Okinawa. Maybe if I go to Okinawa, I'll buy a bottle of Habushu. That'd be good. Recently, I have drunk Habushu, though. Speaking of drinking the weird alcohol with snake in it, which would be a great alcohol for a horror stream. I did drink it once. I met a friendly Okinawan at a festival once. And he's like, we'll give you the drink, you can buy the drink, and we'll give you food for free. Alright. Sounds like my idea of a good time. A drink and a meal? So I drank some of his snake wine. Big jar, sitting in this little festival stand he set up with apparently him and just his family hanging out in a little festival stand. Offering snake wine to random passers-by with a big snake in it. Looking right at you. What do you do with the snake once you empty the bottle? I guess you just throw it out. But it is very strange. The good old Protobothorops flavoridus, which is a really funny name because that looks like flavor. It's used in an alcohol. Anyway, that goddamn ghost chair from that TV show that you found way too quick. Explosion Mage, by the way. How the hell did you find that TV show go quick? That was some goddamn magic. Some goddamn internet magic. You may be an explosion mage, but you're an internet fucking wizard. Anyway. Oh. I'm often told of my special ability is genuinely finding obscure shit on the internet. My special ability is already knowing the obscure shit. That's my special ability. That and speaking with extreme confidence on things I know very little about. Mistake wines makes me think of snake oil. And considering they often drink it because of its supposed health and benefits, I imagine there's not much difference sometimes, mate. It almost certainly started as some sort of traditional remedy for something. As imbibing anything poisonous tends to be. But this is not fake. It is entirely real. I know I'm Australian and I am prone to flights of fancy at the expense of terrified tourists, but this one is not fake. Just like drop this. This one's real. It is no snake oil. Your special ability is having read a magazine article about a topic 20 years ago and going, yes. I know that. Yeah, and I'll just speak with utter confidence on something. My ability is also to walk around places, get a good sense of the surroundings, and know where things are without the need of Google Maps. Like, I can still build a pretty good map in my head, you know? I'm always like, oh no, that's around this way, or that's around this way. That's an ability that frightens some people. I'm like, I know where your house is. We went there once. I remember. Gonna go Okinawa and have myself some now? Hey, it's a lot sweeter than you think. I believe it's made with, what is that stuff called? Awamori. The sort of, traditional local spirit. Awamori. is like the traditional Okinawan spirit from a type of rice they have. It's a rice spirit, but they distill it. They distill rice into a spirit. Excuse me. Typically 60 to 86 proof. And yeah, they do put the snake inside this, and I think they... Yeah, it's a whole thing. Aomori is the oldest distilled alcoholic drink and is believed to predate shochu in mainland Japan. I've been drinking age for years now, and I feel I have to have a drop of my first drink. Yet snake wild make it go. Hell yeah. I was the same. I believe our conversation partner, Tiberian, I don't believe he drinks at all. And my father never drank. Neither did my mother, though I think she wanted to. My siblings all eventually drank, and I was similar, but we were all quite delayed in starting to drink. Oh, except my oldest brother. My oldest brother was a bit of a loose cannon. He was a bit strange. But I, personally, and the same happened to my nieces and nephews as well. They were all... Some of them started early, some of them didn't. But I started quite late. It was no, I do not imbibe. I remember, it's one of those conversations I remember having very early on when you started chatting to us, Tiberian. And for some reason that it's a piece of information I always tend to remember if somebody drinks or not. Because I find it's a good piece of information to have, especially because I personally enjoy a drink, and it's one of my hobbies to make cocktails and various things. There's a reason why I have a goddamn picture of a drink on every screen. Granted, they're not always alcoholic. By the way, I'm going to jump to the other screen because I just want a change of scenery. And also, it's getting late, so we'll probably be finishing in the next 15 minutes. But yes, so I started a bit late as well, and I started on whiskey. I had beer before that. No, let's say I did have beer occasionally, but I was never a person who would describe himself as a drinker of any kind, because I'd have like a sip of beer and go, oh, not really my thing, but most Australian beer tastes like piss. Sometimes, Tiberian, you're not missing much, so don't worry about it. Don't want to become an alcoholic. That's fair enough, mate. You know your limits, and I respect you for it. Hey, a man who knows what to do and does it, that's something I can respect. I'd never be one of those... when I was a young man, I suspect I was a bit guilty of this. But also, all Australians are. Terrible, terrible peer pressure in Australia, especially when it comes to drinking. These days it's better, mostly because drinks are going to cost you your firstborn child. If you want like a pint. You'll have to give you have to give an arm and a leg for a fucking schooner, and you have to give your firstborn child for a pint. But yes, I'm never gonna say that isn't. I have a lot of respect for it. I do have a lot of respect for it. Yes, it's delicious stuff. Delicious stuff. But, if you've not drunk before, you have to be careful, Explosion Mage. Pace yourself, drink water. And if you find that the drink is... If that you're not drinking the drink, you're a Let's say sign a good thing. If you find that you are no longer choosing to drink, then stop drinking. You have to catch it early. The earlier you catch it, the less habits that are formed, the better you are. But if you find... I always say a good rule of thumb is if you can't imagine... If you start not being able to imagine not having a drink, then you have a problem. I find. And it might be a good time to take it away. No harm in just not drinking for a few months. I've done it. I've gone on with my life. It's just a good idea. Even to people who don't get addicted, I think it's just a good idea to stop drinking for a while. Or stop doing certain habits, you know? Maybe you go out a lot. Don't do that for a while. Maybe you stay in too long. Start going out. Maybe you drink a bit too much this week. Stop drinking. You've seen it. You've seen me do it, Tiberian. I just will go, this week I'm not drinking. For very, very little reason. Just like, okay, cutting now. And sometimes I've gone whole months without it. No, not drinking. It's just a good way to make sure my body knows who's in control. Make sure my body knows who's in control. Ooh. Our Morty uses black koji mold. Fun. Anyway. Unfortunately, as enjoyable... I've got to do these just chatting streams more. They're so fun. They're always so enjoyable. They're always so enjoyable. Maybe my next stream will be a just chatting stream. Maybe it will. I do need to give myself a bit of a break from the games. Maybe it'll be just chatting stream. Maybe I'll do it on, like, Sunday morning. I don't know. I've got a long weekend, so I'll probably stream on the long weekend once. And also give myself a break. I have been streaming a lot recently. And I, speaking of giving yourselves breaks from things, think I need to give myself a break from something. What? I'm not going to go very, very long. I'll probably stream this weekend, but the rest of the weekend, even though it's a long weekend and I'd normally be streaming out the wazoo, I do want to give myself... Been sub for years, but never caught you live. I clicked this because I'm having sleep troubles, and this has been quite enjoyable. Thank you. It's kind of funny knowing you've been subbed for years. When the hell did you sub to me? What made you sub to me, Explosion Mage? You just see a cool thumbnail I made and went, oh, that seemed like fun. Though I have been told I am rather capable of helping people when they've been sick. My constant and incessant talking has been seen as rather comforting to some people. Particularly ladies, but that's beside the point. But yes, I might need to finish it there because I unfortunately have work tomorrow. I always have to get up early, and I have to go to bed early. Because I value sleep, especially recently. Like the last 2 weeks, I have not been sleeping properly. I think it's, breathing. Something's interrupting my breathing. Beside the point. Anyway, plans for the future. As always, I will be streaming within the next 3 days, at some point. We're not got any plans right now. It'll probably just be another Just Chatting stream, or maybe we'll play some Hollow Knight. Maybe. Get back into Hollow Knight. But we'll only be streaming once this weekend. It's a long weekend, and I want to give myself some time to enjoy it. I was joined by your presenter and watch your VOD and simply enjoy it. There's not enough streamers out there with more car Mori instead of the loud screaming one. I just can't do it. Mate, my day job is being entertaining, and I'm not even that loud and screaming in my day job. This level of energy is generally what I am. I'm a teacher, by the way. And I teach, last year I taught young kids. These days I teach young teenagers from like 12 to 15. But, yeah, I'm not a real teacher. I'm an assistant teacher. It's beside the point. But my job last year and the year before was quite excitable. You know? Big voices, big sounds. So, I don't know. I've always been, but even then, I've sort of taken this more energy into my teaching. But it's like, I just don't see the point in being more... Sometimes I'll go mad, like you saw me go a bit insane, where I'm like, whoa! Like, sometimes I'll get a bit zany. Get a bit crazy. But yes, I do keep it a bit lower here, and I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Explosion Mage. Keep an eye out, who knows? We'll be playing some things. Currently the games we've got running... We've just finished Silent Hill twice. And the games we've got running, like are in the running order, are Hollow Knight, Silksong, and Borderlands 4. We'll get those back into the running now that horror movie time is over. I really wish I could have done the third ending for Silent Hill, but maybe we'll get around to watching the... maybe we'll pull up a YouTube video that'll explain to us what the story of Silent Hill is. Silent Hill F is. And I can watch the final ending that I haven't gotten to. I'll make a let's play of the final ending, guys. Yeah, that's totally what I'll do. I'll make a let's play. Anyway. I think we'll call it there. It's almost been 2 hours. That'll be nice. Been a nice 2 hours. I always enjoy these just chatting streams more than I expect to. I always do. I don't know why I don't do them more. I think it's because we don't talk as much like this. It makes it easier for me to keep sort of the energy up. Anyway, I've got to go clean out my nice glass. And as always, thank you all for watching. And good night. Sleep tight. And don't let... Oh no. Nothing's gonna bite you. Good night. Sweet dreams. And outside, when you see me outside, don't mind the screams. Just let me in. It's okay. Just let me in.